Hey everybody, we're back.
What?
Yeah.
You can see me, you can see Chad, but this third guy, I think his name's Take Shitta.
Whoa! Come on, guys. It's me, Chandler. Don't you remember your old pal? I've just been working out lately, so you might be able to see a little difference, but it's still the same old cutting and gripping criticism of wrestling. Woohoo! We're back. How we been?
Solid. Going through some life changes, but so far so good. How are you doing?
Seems like that's the time. I think everyone I know is going through some life changes right now. But you know what? That ain't so bad. How you been, Daver?
All right. I was forced to watch WrestleMania 32 a
Oh,
month
come
ago.
on. This is a great show.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot of it.
Oh, no.
It was
Well,
too
I'll
long
lead us
ago.
through. It's, I'm Bret Hart, and you're the 1, 2, 3 kid. I'm gonna lead you through this match, and we'll have a great time.
Perfect. Good.
But yes, we are reviewing WrestleMania 32 as our retro view. This was my pick because it was my threat. It was just, oh, you guys want to see what WWE can be? And honestly, look, I watched this in 2 chunks because it's a long show. I got right up to the women's triple threat my first time, and I stopped and I was like, this show isn't that bad. Like the ladder match was fun. Jericho and AJ Styles was like not as bad as I remembered. It wasn't great or anything, but it wasn't that bad. And then the tag team match was disappointing, but whatever. And then obviously Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose sucked, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I was too harsh on this show. And then the women's
Vince
triple threat
McMahon
again.
was like, hold my beer.
Hold his beer indeed. We'll get to it because who wants to spoil all this fun? But real quick, is there anything going on in modern wrestling we want to talk about? I think the last thing I watched was the summer blockbuster AEW show that came to Portland, Oregon. And my review for it was pretty good.
Arena Mexico Dynamite was really fun.
Yeah, I wish I tuned into that. I just never had the time, but it seems like there's just a lot of fun big multi-man tag matches on it. MJF Mystico, Monet getting another belt. Like, what's not to like?
Hangman cut a beautiful Spanish promo to start off the show. Like he
Hell
was like
yeah.
fluent or something.
Hell yeah. Good for Hangman. That's cool.
The arena was good. The crowd was super hot. They were there for it, dude. I did read today. Monet is the first woman wrestler to compete in Wembley, Tokyo Dome, Arena Mexico, and what's the other big one?
Madison Square Garden.
Yep, yep.
That's
First
pretty
woman wrestler to ever do that.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and two of them are AEW, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden would have been WWE. I think it was some tag team match. It was her and Bailey versus Charlotte and Becky. Obviously All In last year with Britt Baker. Was it Zeuxis? Was that Zeuxis her opponent at?
Yeah.
Okay. That was Arena Mexico, and then I don't know. She's just been to the Tokyo Dome a couple times. I think the last time was Mina
Mm-hmm.
Shirakawa for Wrestle Dynasty, so she's definitely been around. So hell yeah. I mean, it's a shame she's gonna have to take her first AEW pin at All In, but all pin as we say.
I
Um,
hear they're doing. I hear they're doing Thunder Rosa Athena for the Ring of Honor title at All In.
that's not the worst thing they could do. I wish it was
No,
built better.
they're both from Texas.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be too upset about that. They definitely
No,
could have done better, but
Yeah, and I'm sure you read, Chandler, who Mercedes' boyfriend is now.
Is it the Beast Mortos?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh wow! I mean, good for the two of them.
Yep. And then he got to go in the main event at uh, Grand Slam Mexico because Claudio couldn't make it.
Aw, well, good for him. Beast Mortos deserves it.
Yeah, big fan. You got anything else going on? What's going on in the Fed? Anything?
I haven't been paying too much attention, but of course I go on Twitter, so I see shit. Gunther versus Goldberg is challenging All In. Um, you know what? I could be really cynical about it, but this is gonna be Goldberg's retirement match. There's no way he's winning. I think Gunther ending Goldberg's career is going to be a great accolade for him. So like, you know what? The only way they could screw it up is if Goldberg wins, which is not a 0% chance. It is still WWE, but I'm not going to be too negative about that. They got Night of Champions this Saturday, which I'm going to be honest. All I have to say is I think they should cancel it or reschedule it due to current affairs happening in the local area.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good point.
I think it's a little too dangerous for a silly wrestling show, and you just say, we'll just hold off until it's a little calmer. But that's my opinion. But I will give them credit. I think the Cena CM Punk stuff is like the most interesting shit they've done since like Mania, where he's like, if you want the title and you want to fight me for it, you got to go to Saudi Arabia. I think that's really funny that
Yeah.
Cena's making that the story, but it's also like acknowledging that Saudi Arabia is like immoral. So I don't know.
Mhm.
It's interesting. I'm still not really watching WWE, but it could be worse.
Yeah.
Anyways, why would we talk about current WWE unless anyone has anything else to say?
No.
I got nothing.
Let's head back to a magical time called 2016 WWE. I did not watch these, but I think it's still funny to talk about the pre-show matches. Kalisto, who doesn't remember Kalisto? The United States champion defeated Ryback by pinfall. Man, this is just crazy, mostly because Ryback was going to be the next Goldberg for a while. And here he is opening the pre-show losing to Kalisto. I think this is one of his last matches in WWE,
Damn.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, but it was 9 minutes. I don't think there's anything to say. This match also very funny. I think the story. So it's Team Total Divas, which is Alicia Fox, Brie Bella, Eva Marie, Natalia, and Paige, taking on Team Bad and Blonde, which is Emma, Lana, Naomi, Summer Rae, and Tamina. Now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the story was it was Team Total Divas, which was like the reality stars versus the wrestlers, and the wrestlers lost. So
Huh.
that's just Vince McMahon at his finest. And then the last pre-show match, just like, all right, so it's the Usos taking on a tag team. What's the tag team? Who is it? Any guesses?
Oh my gosh.
What's a 2016? What's a tag team that was wrestling in 2016 WWE?
Cesaro and Sheamus.
No, that was the brand split, so we're a couple months away from that. But good guess.
Oh man. I have no idea.
FTR.
FTR was on NXT, so it would not have been then. I'll just tell you, you're going to want to get the tables because it was the Dudley
Oh,
Boys.
oh my God.
Oh yeah, that weird run they came back for.
I remember being so into it because, like, they had, like, a couple hardcore matches with the Wyatts, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be great. And they just lost every single match. And I just remember being like, man, that sucks. They're lame. But now I'm like, oh, they were putting over the younger talent. I just didn't think of that when I was watching. But yeah, so I don't know. I can't remember the context of that match, but that was your pre-show. We ready to move on to the main card?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, first match opener. Zack Ryder shockingly defeated Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sami Zayn, Sin Cara, and Stardust for the Intercontinental Championship. This match,
I liked it.
oh
It
yeah,
was good.
definitely a hot start.
Yeah. I remember watching. This is the first WrestleMania I watched after getting back into wrestling after a long hiatus, and I remember being like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And then just slowly, slowly.
Yeah. Just some couple stuff that I had from this match. It was weird to see Sami Zayn with the Sami Zayn like very over ring song.
Yeah.
Got no pop. No pop when he came out. It's crazy just to see where he is now. Um I remember watching this match and seeing Stardust come out and being like, this is it. He's going to win this match and he's going to the moon. So that was every single time Stardust wrestled because I was just such a big fan. And then even before the match started, I completely forgot that Kevin Owens was the champ going into this. I think if you had said who's the champ, I would not have guessed Kevin Owens. But I mean, hey, good for him. Man's a champ. And then again, Sin Cara's in this. What the hell? Who put him in there?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this was a pretty fun match overall. I think the stars of this were definitely Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think they just kicked each other's ass as much as they could. I just thought that was pretty fun. There was a bit where Miz like threw Sami Zayn down. It was like, go back to NXT, just shit like that. And then Zack Ryder got the win, very shockingly, as I said before. This was a on the day decision made by Vince McMahon because I think the Miz was gonna win. Could you imagine if the Miz won this? And it's like, you start off with like oh, really, like him? But
That would have been
yeah.
funny.
Don't worry, David. Zach lost the belt the next night on Raw, so it's not like he had a good
Good
reign or anything.
Lord.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, gross.
Don't think anyone gets to be happy. He totally lost it a day later. But yeah, so at least in the one
And
show.
we get to see him at Prestige.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, Battle of the Mats.
Ooh, who's he facing?
Matt Brannigan.
Ooh. Well, I sure hope Matthew Cardona wins. I mean, hey, he was just referenced on WWE.
Does that mean he's going back?
No, Cena cut his own pipe bomb promo to like basically like make fun of CM Punk in their feud. And there was a bit where he looked at the camera and went, "Hi Claudio Castagnoli, hi Nick Nemeth, hi Matt Cardona," and like a reference to him saying hi Colt Cabana. And people are kind of debating about it. I think it's like he picked probably the 3 tamest names he could pick to like call out, quote unquote, on a live WWE mic, because him and Claudio are best friends, are like really good friends. Nick Nemeth is Dolph Ziggler, like yeah, he's in TNA right now, and then Matt Cardona probably will go back to WWE at some point. So I think that it was good in the moment, but also it's not like any of those guys really have any connection to CM Punk. So it's a couple different things. Anyways, why are we talking about that? Well, we could talk about Chris Jericho taking on AJ Styles. This was actually a better match than I thought. I think I was just so disappointed with the result. It's like really affected my opinion of it because Chris Jericho beat AJ Styles. And honestly, I just think that's a poor decision because this is AJ Styles. He debuted in the Royal Rumble earlier this year. Hot new talent. And he's losing to Jericho at Mania. But at least in the package, they had mentioned that AJ Styles had pinned him like 3 times up until then. So he was definitely like, it's not the end of the world that AJ lost this match.
And he had a hell of a rookie year in WWE. He ended up as champ at some point.
Yeah, he was WWE champ by September. So it's not like this took that long. But yeah, I mean, it was just it was a fun match. I liked how it was set up. Basically AJ was outpacing Jericho in the beginning. And then as it like went on, Jericho just kept hitting like really smart, really tactical moves. There was a bit where I put AJ was honoring Samoa Joe because he did a little walk away spot. It wasn't as like exaggerated as Joe, but it was basically like that. But yeah, and then Jericho actually nailed a lion salt. I know. I always feel shocked when that happens because when we went back and watched Halloween Havoc '97, and it was like, oh, he couldn't do lion salts then. He can't do them now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then the counter at the end, which was pretty damn good, which was AJ going for a big old phenomenal forearm and Jericho countering it into a code breaker. It was all well and good, but still, I would still say it was the wrong result. I would have just gone all in on Styles and been like, he won 4-0. He's 4-0 against Jericho. Isn't that crazy? And the crowd would have loved it.
True.
And I feel like we could probably say AJ Styles' best match at WrestleMania is not Shane McMahon. It'd be Jericho. But, unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. But what did y'all think of this match?
I quite enjoyed it. Similar to you, like it's been a while since I went back and watched much, and both AJ Styles and Jericho, like a little younger, a little more athletic. It was like, God, I used to love both these guys, and this is kind of the reason why. Like you say, the story of the loss didn't feel great, but it was still cool to see them.
Yeah. It was a well done match that watching it again definitely built to its ending. Like I wasn't shocked or anything, but it's as a fan, I think I would have enjoyed it more if Styles had won.
Fair.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I was rooting for AJ, but it was cool seeing both guys like quicker and more agile and younger. That was quite a treat for me. So,
Yeah, I mean,
I even Jericho 9 years ago was like a whole different guy.
I loved Jericho in this match. He was entertaining and funny because this was like not like the best heel Jericho ever, but he was heel and he was just good. He was good at what he did. So it's crazy to hear.
Yeah.
God, I feel like people are starting to speculate about Jericho. A lot of people are thinking he'll go back to the Fed, which I don't think that's a 0% possibility. It could happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, moving on to the nostalgia match, as I would like to call it, the League of Nations. Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, Sheamus, okay, with King Barrett defeated the New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. I would talk about what happened in this match, but literally it does not matter because the bad guys win, which is so dumb. Like, this is just maybe the dumbest match on the card. I really don't know because the League of Nations, like, half of them were fired by the end of this year. Like, I think Alberto Del Rio was let go, and then Wade Barrett was let go. Rusev, like, I think this is coming off of his awful feud with Dolph Ziggler, which if you remember that, Chad, it's like just terrible. It was the first story where Rusev got cucked. And then Sheamus, which again, Mohawk Sheamus was terrible until he started teaming with Cesaro, which again is a couple months out. So I don't know why they would beat the New Day, which are one of, if not the most over acts on the card. And then it just ended with Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin beating them
Oh
up.
God,
I've heard
dude.
people talk about this that were there in person, like certain wrestling podcasters. And they're like, I didn't really mind this because I was there and it was like, whoa, Shawn Michaels, whoa, Mick Foley, Stone Cold. I can understand that. But also, I would say it's what CM Punk always bitched about, which is, okay, are these guys going to be here on Monday? Are they going to wrestle a match? Like, no, they just came out to get a quick pop. So it's just one of those things where, like, if, let's say, the New Day won and then the League of Nations just beat them up all afterwards because they're like, oh, they're the heels, and then the old guys came out and made the save, that'd be one thing. But just the way this whole thing panned out just sucked. The only thing I had really written in my notes was Sean literally looks like he could wrestle. Like, he looks in fucking
Right?
phenomenal condition. It's kind of crazy. And then it's also crazy that he did come back and wrestle. Who remembers when he came back?
Yeah,
Ugh.
no hair, right?
Yeah, it was the Saudi match. DX versus Brothers of Destruction in 2018,
Yeah.
baby. Ooh.
I was really into it until they had the match. I thought the build was cool.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of the build after the fact. Like, I think they did it in the Undertaker documentary about his
Oh,
retirement, and they talked about it a lot. And honestly, it seemed like it was a fun build. I just wish the match never happened, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Next up, Brock Lesnar defeated Dean Ambrose. Who's that guy? I don't. I know a John Moxley. I don't know Dean Ambrose. By pinfall in a no holds barred street fight. This match has been talked kind of to death, at least by John himself. And it's quite interesting just what he says. I think he's always been like, oh, Brock didn't want to do anything, which even I'm going to give Brock a little bit of credit. It does make sense because he knew his UFC fight was coming up in like a
Yeah.
couple months. So it's like, okay, I get not wanting to risk yourself getting injured in a big match at Mania. But then again, I just wouldn't have done a no holds barred match. You know, I
Mhm.
simply would not have done that. Um, and then the build to this, it would have like Mick Foley come out and he'd give Barbie, and then he would have Terry Funk came out and he gave him a chainsaw, and so we were like, "Whoa, this match is gonna be crazy." And I think none of that happened. Like he might have hit Brock with it once, and then he pulled out the chainsaw, like ripped it once, and then just dropped it because he's wacky. He's a lunatic fringe.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know, like what do you say about this match? Because it just sucked. Brock didn't want to do anything. Dean was probably depressed because he was like, I have to lose. And if this was like a barn burner, it'd be one thing if I had to lose, but this is gonna be a stinker. So yeah, just poor form. I remember being pretty excited for this match because I was like, I don't think Dean's gonna win, but I feel like this will at least be a fun match.
Yeah.
And it was just like this was in that period where Brock Lesnar just fucking sucked. Because again, later this year is his Randy Orton match. Yeah, Chad's expression says it all. Oof.
Ugh.
But yeah, I think this is where the show really starts to stink. And it'll pick up with the next match, but then it really goes downhill. But anything else to say about Brock Lesnar versus the third guy from the Shield?
I liked Dean Ambrose, like his fighting spirit, and I didn't think he was gonna win. I didn't know, but I didn't think he was. But I was really rooting for him, and he was crazy, and he looked like he was a lot of fun back then.
You don't even. I should make a video about early 2016 Dean Ambrose. He was so good. I think so. We'll get into this more when we talk about Roman Reigns and Triple H. But watching back the video package for Roman Reigns Triple H, it's really funny because when Triple H wins the Royal Rumble and wins the WWE Championship, they piped in boos. But if you watch it live, the crowd goes crazy because they're like, "Yeah, Roman lost the title." And the last two were Dean and Triple H, and that's where everyone was like, "Dean's the guy. We all got to go in on Dean." And they had a triple threat of like Brock and Roman and Dean, and then obviously Roman won it, and that was to determine Roman going to Mania. And everyone was like, "No, Dean should win. He's the
Right?
clear baby face." Like, I think if they had just swapped Roman out and put Dean in, we would not look at this Mania as like an utter travesty because unfortunately the main event matters most. And so a big old babyface Dean Ambrose victory that could have saved this Mania.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just think that's yeah, Dave. I'm glad you picked up. Like, it's crazy how much John Moxley had to fight through this shitty Dean Ambrose gimmick because it was like he would come out with like a hot dog cart and spray mustard on people, and he'd come out eating popcorn just because he's crazy and he's a silly guy. Like you laugh, but like Chad, am I wrong?
Oh yeah, no, it got pretty bad, but there was a small window where yeah, it was like this dude could be the face of the company. And it was a small window. He was awesome, and then all of a sudden he's putting on gas masks and getting inoculated shots up the butt and stuff.
Yeah, he had to get a shot up his ass because the fans are stinky.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So there's that match. Next up for the first ever women's championship in WWE. They've never had a women's championship in WWE before this. They said that on commentary. It is a triple threat to crown the inaugural women's champion. And this match is a lot like Jericho and Styles, where it's a pretty good match. It just has the wrong winner. I think this is more wrong than the AJ Styles match. Even if that's not the proper grammar, but Charlotte Flair with Ric Flair defeated Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks by submission. To give her credit, Sasha Banks was fantastic in this match. I thought she was the MVP. Just everything she did looked real. Everything she did looked like concise. And like think about it like this is only like a couple months after her Bayley matches at NXT, or maybe like a year or so at most. But like she was like the biggest woman's, or like one of the most talked about woman stars when that was happening. And so I think this would have been a great time to crown her. But I mean, that's kind of just the tragedy with Sasha Banks and WWE is they never wanted to cash in on her. They never wanted to crown her. I think the funny statistic is Seth Rollins has more successful defenses for the Raw Women's Champion than Sasha Banks does, because Sasha Banks was never successfully defended specifically the Raw Women's title, and she had it like 5 times. She never defended it, but there was a time where Seth and Becky took on like Baron Corbin and Lacey
That's
Evans,
right.
and both titles were on the line, and Seth and Becky won. So technically, Seth has defended the Raw Women's Championship more times than Sasha Banks has. And you wonder why she walked out. You wonder why she was pissed off. I really don't understand.
I think she's realizing the value of AEW and the opportunities that
I
she
think,
can seize with
yeah,
AEW.
I think, because there's this like podcast she did. Like I think as soon as she was like getting into AEW, or like right before she signed with them, where
Like
she
I'm
said
sure
something.
I'll go back to WWE.
I think she's probably changed her mind on that. I don't know. I don't want to
Yep.
speak for her,
Yeah,
but
that's how I feel too. Like
Yeah.
she's killing it right now, dude. Most money any women's talent has ever made. She just broke that record for performing in all the big four arenas. Like, dude, she's
yeah.
got 5 fucking championship belts.
I mean, she's got creative control, and I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm Booker Man Tony Khan, and I'm telling Monet, hey, you have to, at least in your first year of being here, you got to take one pin to arguably the most over gimmick in the company right now, I'd be like, oh, okay, like
Right?
I'd still be, I still have my 5 other belts. Oh, okay, like I'm fine with that. And yeah, so the end of this match, basically, Charlotte Flair gets Becky Lynch in the figure 8, and Sasha Banks can get in and break it up, but Ric Flair, of all people, prevents her from winning. So I think that's just kind of a lame finish, having Ric Flair be a part of it. Like, again, it's a women's match. Like, can't the women finish it? And then Charlotte, like you can just hear the crowd. They just like they're like, whatever, we don't care. We're
Yeah.
over this, and they just boo, which is pretty fair. But yeah, I mean, this was a good match overall. It was just pretty hampered down by the ending, I would say. How do you two feel about it?
It's a good way to put it. Like, where was that in a relation of with James Ellsworth winning the women's Money in the Bank?
Yeah, so the first Money in the Bank women's match was technically won by James Ellsworth because he went up the ladder and pulled the briefcase down before anyone,
Yeah.
and he just handed it to Carmella, who was down
It
below.
was ballpark same era. Like, yeah, having men get involved in the women's stuff is just puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Especially when it's like, oh, it's the inaugural, it's the first, right? Like, even if you are going all in on Charlotte, well, then wouldn't you just want Charlotte to win? Like,
Clean.
yeah, like if you're going all in on her and you're making this all about her, well, then have her win clean. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Vince McMahon's logic. He had no logic, you know.
True.
Yeah. No, it was cool seeing Sasha Banks, 9 years ago, and yeah, she was good then. I think she's even better now. Clearly, obviously, like you only get better over time until you hit that certain point, and where you start going downhill. And she ain't there yet. She's
This
still in her prime.
yeah, this isn't I don't think this is Sasha Banks' best outing. I think you would look at either Bailey match, any of her Bailey matches are probably
Yeah.
better than this because she had a really good Hell in a Cell in the pandemic area that I kind of forgot about, or the Bianca Belair main event. I think those would be the Sasha Banks matches that we should seek out for like the best of what she could do back then. But I would also agree. I think she's better now. I think she's a more all around composed wrestler, I would say. But yeah, moving on to one of the more controversial matches of the night, but again, that's hard to pick one. The Undertaker defeated Shane McMahon by pinfall. We're bringing back Dyna Nitro, baby. How long did this one go? How long?
Oh, how long did it actually go, or how long did it feel like it went?
We'll just go with how long did it
30,
actually go?
33 minutes. 33.
Dave was close, but he's over.
I think it was like 28, wasn't it?
That's 30 minutes and 5 seconds.
Whew.
No,
I loved every minute, every fucking minute. I
that's
loved it.
crazy.
I mean, to be fair, it
Loved
did
it.
feel like a WCW main event.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I loved it.
Dave, we found the one fan of this match. We found him. I'm
I
glad you like
loved
it.
it. Yeah.
I won't pull my punches. I thought this match fucking sucked. It's not the worst match of the night. It's not the worst, which is crazy. This is like there's still some cool stuff. Shane's big ol' silly elbow drop. Obviously, that's a crazy stud.
Oh,
Can't believe that guy
so
did it.
cool.
I remember being like, that's the coolest shit ever when I watched it. And like it made up for this match, but rewatching it just was not kind. Like nothing's bad. It's not like Undertaker and Roman Reigns the next year is one of the worst matches I've ever seen. Like they're botching, they're way slower than this. Like it's bad. They land all their moves in this match. They all look pretty good to like fine. It's just so slow.
Yeah.
It's so slow. If this was like half
And
the
sweaty.
time,
And
yeah.
so sweaty.
If this was half the time, which I know is probably hard because they'd be working at a much faster pace, but if this were half the time, I think I'd be more like Dave, where I'd be like, yeah, this was just a car crash fun match. But every like spot, there's a solid minute in between. And especially the end, which like I get it, he just jumped off that big old cage, but it's like 5 minutes from when he falls off to when Undertaker pins him. Like, come on, that's a little too long. That's a little too long. Undertaker didn't even get hit. Like he got out of the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like the whole fucking build to this match too is just crazy.
Yeah, and they sort of gave him a bit of a fighting spirit spot. It was like, didn't feel it.
Yeah, this started the Super Shane O'Mac era, where he would beat Shane McMahon pinned Roman Reigns a year or so later.
Ooh.
Who else? He is the best wrestler in the world canonically. He won the tournament. So yeah,
He wasn't even in.
Well, yeah, and then the Miz got injured, so Shane McMahon heroically stepped in, and he just had to win. He is the best in the world. But yeah, so in case anyone forgot about the stipulations, if McMahon lost, Vince McMahon gained control of a secret lockbox that was in Shane McMahon's possession. And Shane was like, "Oh, everything in that lockbox, you're done, Vince." And so that's how Vince was interested in this match. But if McMahon won, he would have gained control of Raw, and Undertaker would no longer get to wrestle at WrestleMania. No. Honestly, I wish Shane had won, so we wouldn't have seen Undertaker WrestleMania anymore. Because it's the 33 match, which is terrible. The 34 match, which is bad because it's only 4 minutes. and then did nothing for 35. 36 is okay, but like it kind of is like okay because it's like we just want him to retire. Like,
Yeah.
please retire at this point. But Dave, I think that's all I'll go with. I just think this match is way too slow. Like way too slow. But that's my opinion. What do you like about it?
I think Chad kind of hinted at it. Like it felt like a WCW match. I guess is like a Hulk Hogan kind of pacing. A lot of rest holds and recovering, and but like Shane, he looked tough, man. Like you got to have balls to go up against the Undertaker. And then the Undertaker, his shtick was always move slow like a fucking dead man anyway. So I don't know. It just worked for me, man. It worked for me, brother.
That's
Uh
okay. You know, we like
that
conflicting opinions.
that elbow drop, dude, just blew me away. Like that man had no business doing anything like that.
Yeah.
It bummed me out that he didn't connect, but man, I'm like I think I've said it. Like I'm a huge Shane O'Mac fan from back when we watched that Survivor Series
To
match.
be fair, I've only shown you the good Shane McMahon stuff. There's one more match that's good, and I think everything else is just downhill from here.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I want him in AEW.
No, no more. What if that's how Hangman loses it all in? They bring out Shane McMahon. They're like, you forgot! You forgot! Ugh. Yeah.
But yeah, this is good. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the match. You know, it worked for somebody. Chad, what did you think of it?
I'm kind of in the middle. Like I didn't hate it. I wish they did all the same stuff and it was about half the length. Like you said, that would have been amazing. But
Yeah. I
they
like
they probably both would have had heart attacks though.
Oh yeah, there's a way you could make this card better with like a lot of the same ingredients they already had. Because the big issue they had with this card was a lot of people were injured. Cena was injured, Seth Rollins was injured, Bray Wyatt was injured, Cesaro was injured. Like all these people, like who could have had a big marquee match were unable to make it. So it's unfortunate. Like I know they were gonna do Cena and Undertaker at 32, but Cena was too injured and couldn't do it, which is unfortunate that we missed out on that. But anything else before we move on to the next match?
Nah.
Perfect. I don't know why they only did a 20-man battle royale because it's typically 30, but Baron Corbin wins the 20-man battle royale for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. So I'll say the positives I have for this match. DDP is there. That's about it. I think
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquale O'Neal was there. This is the closest Shaq and Big Show ever got to their match because I think both of them were like really advocating it for years at WrestleMania, and it just never happened for whatever reason. And then what? Shaq had his match in AEW, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't it like weird too? Like it wasn't just like Cody and Shaq. It was like Cody and Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade Cargill. Wasn't it that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so weird. That's like I'm sure it might have made sense at the time, but at least hearing that or okay, well I'm glad it didn't make sense. But yeah, I mean, I just think there's so much stinky about this. Like Baron Corbin winning it. I know people like Baron Corbin, and I don't want to be too mean on the guy, but I've always thought he sucked. He's got a good finishing move, and that's it. And so him winning this at the time, I remember being like, "Ugh, why are you doing such a loser character?" Um, and like, I think the only person I would have wanted to win was DDP. I remember wanting Mark Henry to win because this was in like it was in Texas. He's from Texas. I was like, give the man one more little WrestleMania moment,
Yeah,
and then just let
that'd
him
been cool.
retire. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call this bad. This is just like your average Raw battle royale, But what did y'all think?
It was forgettable for me.
There was okay. I'm gonna test you guys. There was one other legend in this battle royale. Who was it?
Tatanka.
Perfect. Let's go. I remember. I think I was watching this with my dad, and he was like, "Is that fucking Tatanka?" And I was like, "Who the fuck is Tatanka?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this guy who used to wrestle in the '80s." I was like, "The '80s? What the hell?"
Yeah.
He looked good. He looked exactly the same as I remembered him in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, it was very cool. I got a kick because I kind of forgot seeing DDP come out. I was like, it's DDP. Let's go.
Yep. They gave him a weird ring entrance music though. I didn't really like it.
They CFO dollar signed him.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, the second to last part of the night. So the Dallas cheerleaders are out there. They do a little thing because they're in Dallas, and then The Rock comes out. He sets his name on fire. He takes like 5 minutes to get to the ring. He lies about the attendance number, and then the Wyatts come out. The Wyatts do their typical like, spooky talk. We're Southern. We're gonna beat you, Rocky. And then The Rock calls them fat, which is, I mean, that's just what The Rock would do. Am I missing anything? Because this is all that basically happened for this is like a 40-minute.
He was
segment.
very sweaty when he came out. I think he was enjoying some snow with Shane McMahon before he came out.
I mean,
He seemed very coked up.
Well, I'll say this: he does have the shortest WrestleMania match coming up, so that he was just so strong, he ended it so quickly. And then Bray Wyatt says he came out for a fight, and then The Rock goes, "Okay," and then Eric Rowan says, "I'll wrestle you," and there goes the quickest match in WrestleMania history, 6 seconds. This was the last match Rock had until last year's WrestleMania. Fun fact.
Oh damn! I did not realize that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, I was like, wow, the last time he wrestled was Cena at 29, right? And then I think they said, oh, it's only been 8 years. And I was like, 8 years? What was, this shit. And then the Wyatts beat up The Rock because obviously he did a bad thing. And then Cena comes back. They beat up the Wyatts. This was a waste of time. Like, this was just a waste of time. And especially so late and so close to the main event. And you already had the piss break in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. So it's like, why would you do 2 piss breaks? But this, I mean, people would be insulted if I said the Rock segment was a piss break, but like nothing happened. I remember watching this live and being like, oh man, this is going to be so crazy. What are the implications? Don't worry, there are none.
Yeah.
I genuinely think this is like the last time Rock showed up in WWE until like the first SmackDown on Fox, which was like 3 years later. So I could be wrong in that. I don't have a encyclopedic knowledge of WWE at this time, but I'm pretty sure he just didn't do anything with the company for like 3.5 years after this. But
Sounds right.
What analysis do you have of that Iron Man match we just talked about?
I remember.
I was fast forwarding through it, to be honest, and I like see him rock bottom Rowan, and I like stopped it, and I heard the bells ring, and I'm like, oh wait, what? This turned into a match, so I had to rewind a little bit.
This is such a worthless segment. I told you exactly what happened. Like,
it was bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah. No, like, so I hadn't been watching it in quite some time, and I'm watching this live, and I was like, The Rock, oh hell yeah. And then also, what in the fuck was that?
yeah. It was weird. I didn't remember Braun Strowman was actually with the Wyatts at this time. So it was weird seeing such a baby-faced Braun. But yeah, that was that.
But then my buddy Trips redeemed the whole show for me.
Oh yeah, saved the day. Had a great main event. It was like 3 minutes. Roman just dog walked Triple H and the crowd went home happy, right? Right? I will say it is kind of crazy. I've seen this match twice now, and I've had the exact same viewing experience of it 2 times now, which is I'm kind of just like in a blur because I'm so bored and it's so meh. And then Roman spears Stephanie, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I'm watching something. It happened twice now because this match is so boring. It's okay. I'll give it some credit in the video or the promo, yeah, the video package beforehand. They used a cool song I like. They used "Hail to the King" by Avenged Sevenfold, so I'll give you a 1 point for that. But I'll give you minus 27 points for how many minutes this match went without even the entrances. Um, but yeah, so Stephanie McMahon has some crazy fucking schizo speech about
Dude.
controlling the
Oh,
masses, and you're all wanting to be controlled by the masses, and I'm Stephanie McMahon and I am the like it's so bad. And then
so bad.
Triple H comes out and he's Triple H. He does look in very good shape. I will give him that. I kind of forgot because I'm like, oh man, he looks like real ripped. And then Roman Reigns comes out, beautiful blue-eyed Roman Reigns. And the first move in this match is actually a headlock takeover by Triple H to Roman. And that is like very emblematic of what's to come. It's just rest holds for like 25 minutes.
Old
And like
school.
I remember like the one bit in this match that I remember vividly is fucking Triple H's Roman in like an armbar for 3 minutes. And Roman does his like gradual power bomb out of it, and it doesn't even look good. And then Triple H just goes right back to another fucking hold for another minute. And I'm like, dude, really? Another hold? We're just going right back to it? And then, like literally nothing happens for 25 minutes until Roman Reigns spears Stephanie McMahon, which is funny. That's a funny spot. And then Roman Reigns wins, and the crowd boos, and I'm pretty sure they leave as he's celebrating, which is always terrible to see. So, yeah. How'd you guys like the main event?
I was
So
bored.
boring. And that Stephanie McMahon spiel, it was like, I don't know, man, like fucking pseudo Nazi vibes for me. I don't know. It seemed so weird. Like,
With I can't believe I'm defending Stephanie McMahon, but I will say it was in line with their characters because they were the part of the authority and they were holding
mhm,
everything in like they were holding power over everything. So it makes sense in like they're just
yeah,
power hungry assholes, and they're about to get their
yeah.
comeuppance, but like there's no one worse for there's no one worse for this babyface position than 2016 Roman Reigns. There's nobody worse. You could have done Dean. You could have done Brock. You could have done AJ. You could have I think you could have done Jericho, and more people would have been interested. You could have done The Rock, and more people would have been interested. Like you could have picked so many other baby faces on your roster at the time, and so many more people would have been more into it. But they were gonna go with Roman, and they did.
Yeah. Yeah, those are frustrating times. It's funny seeing that version of Roman versus what he is now, and it's like not even the same person.
Yeah, he's just so much better these days. Even like just with everything, he looks out of place. He shouldn't be where he's at, and just now it looks like he belongs. It looks
Yeah.
like he's the head of the table, for lack of a better way to call him. But
The thing I compare this main event to is like when you're letting the air out of a balloon and you get to the end and it just goes.
it's a
Fair.
great way of putting it. This is a of a main event, just like ugh. But it takes 27 minutes. So you're watching the air
Yeah.
slowly get squeezed out for 27 minutes, and you're like, good God, can I just pop it?
Nope.
And they're like, no, you gotta
Yeah.
watch me work this
Nope.
balloon, brother. So
Oh God.
I will
But yeah.
say,
Oh.
oh, go ahead, Dave.
I mean, this is like a month ago that I watched it, and this is a lot of this is coming back to me now, and just I love the Undertaker Shane O'Mac match. Everything else is pretty. The Zack Ryder win in the beginning was fun for me. Sasha Banks was good, but everything else just like was really bad. So,
Yeah.
some stuff was fun, but overall, I just want to go to something really good now.
Did at least the main event live up to the hype I've given it as like just a dog shit match? Just so
That's fair.
bad.
Yeah,
It was a fair spoiler.
Mhm.
yeah. What do you rank it compared to Cody losing
I
at
think I would
40?
say Cody Cena is worse.
What about Cody Roman at 40 with the rubber chicken?
The one where Cody lost to Roman?
Yeah.
That match, I'm gonna say this. I feel like I've said this before. Cody Roman WrestleMania 39 is a perfect match up until the last 30 seconds. I think it's a I have not gone back and watched it, but I remember watching it at the time and I just loved every second of it. Every second of it was worked to perfection, but because the last 30 seconds is so stupid, it doesn't matter. So everybody hates that match now. But so this is like nowhere near. I think that's a actually great match. So the beast is to compare this to Cody and Cena, and I would still say recency bias may be a little helping this, but I think Cody and Cena is worse because at least the wrestler finished this match. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Yep.
think that's the biggest issue I have is just Travis Scott comes out like nobody else, just Travis Scott. And so it's like, at least the wrestlers finished the match this time, you know?
Hmm.
true.
And I think overall, my opinions of because I used to always be like, oh, this is by far the worst WrestleMania I've ever seen. And I think my opinions have like softened on it a little bit, but I still would say it's a bad mania. Like overall, it's pretty bad. It's
Yeah.
just
No, I mean, as a show, it wasn't terrible, but this is WrestleMania. Like, it's supposed to be your Super Bowl, like the thing you look forward to all year. And it was like, really, this is what I did that. Like, if I paid that kind of money to attend the show, ooh, I'd have been pissed.
yeah, it's crazy to think back on like the pay-per-view days and like the shitter fucking shows that WWE were putting out and they were charging $50 for it. Like, no way. How is that feasible?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
There was a time I was shelling out for almost all of those too.
I haven't watched a WWE pay-per-view since WrestleMania, and I still have Peacock, mostly because I bought like a year-long deal. And I don't really mind that I'm not getting my money back because I watched the Rumble, I watched Chamber, I watched Mania. Like I feel like that already pays for whatever
Yeah,
I bought. And that's why like even though I overall dislike how TKO and streaming services have like changed WWE, it is nice at least price wise compared
yeah,
to like AEW where it's still $50 a pop and there I would say it's worth it because at least the shows are good. But yeah, it's just yeah. Any other last thoughts on WrestleMania 32 before we close this chapter for good? Finish our story.
no, no. Glad as strange as it seems, though, I'm kind of glad I watched it. Like, it's weird, just kind of like watching any old one where you're like, oh, that was weird, but still, like, you saw DDP, you saw Tatanka, like, there's still those like little nostalgia hits where I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah, this show isn't without merit, right? Like it's not a waste of a it's just not good, you know, but there's still
yeah.
cool moments, you know, and it's just
Also, I split it up over like 5 viewings. I watched a little bit before work every day.
I feel like that would be a better way to go. Dave, do you have any
Yeah.
closing statements?
Um, I mean, I'm glad I got it over with. Uh, yeah, it was a time, it was a part of wrestling history, pre AEW, so they didn't really have to try too hard, clearly. Yeah, it was like I said, I like Shane McMahon. That was about it, man. Uh I was looking at this Collision card too. It seemed like Collision was pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Yeah. Kota Ibushi returned.
Ooh, Dave, you excited?
I mean, like I always said, I'm just not feeling him, but Okada is officially a member of the Don Callis family now.
That's
Huh?
crazy. I don't know how I feel about that.
And Mark Briscoe came out to like take him on because they're like, Kenny has no friends. And Briscoe's like, well, I'm his friend. And they beat him down, and fucking Kota Ibushi comes out and saves him. So I'm kind of into it. Not gonna lie.
Cool.
And Christian Cage put out the challenge to the Hurt Syndicate with him and Nick Wayne for the tag championships.
Huh?
That could be, I'm more into that for the storyline implications, but that'll be
Well,
cool.
it's clear that the patriarchy is about to implode. Like that's what's happening. And I did
Yeah.
read earlier that they put off Cope and Christian reuniting as a tag team so Christian can wrap up the patriarchy storyline and make sure he does it right because he's put so much time and energy into him and Nick Wayne's relationship. He wants to make sure it's done right.
Wait,
I
Christian
can
Cage once again proving he's one of the best hires AEW's ever had. Oh, that's crazy. He's trying to make sure that he properly puts over a talent before he moves on to his nostalgia run. Whoa! I can't
dude,
believe it.
God, I love Christian Cage. He is something fucking special, dude. I can't wait for the AEW Hall of Fame. Can't
He's got to
wait.
be first ballot. If
Oh
the
god,
only way
yeah.
he wouldn't be is if he wasn't retired by then, because
Hmm.
it's gonna be Sting, probably Ricky Steamboat, and then
Danielson.
Danielson might be coming back. I would say
Oh, did you hear he
I,
did?
I saw he had the Ring of Honor bit, and he did take a bump because he did a
Yeah.
Busaiku knee, which is
Uh-huh.
that could be it's like Edge came back at SummerSlam 2019 and he speared someone, and he hadn't
Yeah.
done that in since he had retired. And so people were like, "Whoa, okay." So it's kind of an indicator. I mean, I was always like, "Oh, Danielson is going to have one more match." He's Danielson, right? He can't stay away. So I'm very happy that it might happen. And I really do hope it happens.
Fair.
Yeah. So let's see. Dynamite. Oh yeah, I was wrong, Chad. Dynamite will not be in Seattle. That was Kent, Washington that Collision was in.
Ah.
I was like, dude, if it's in Seattle, there's no way Danielson isn't going to be on. It's going to be in Ontario, California. Um, Dynamite 300 and
Oh.
Collision 100 all in the same night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They gotta have.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've had a bunch of big shows, but they gotta have something big on that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think Danielson will have to be there if he showed up at Arena
Right?
Mexico.
I think he's gonna save his return potentially until All In, and call this a Grapple-Sauce exclusive. We'll talk about it with our predictions, but I think Danielson will cost Hangman the belt.
That's the rumor going around. He's gonna help Mox. He's
Because
gonna
I'm
come
Oh,
telling
around.
you,
yeah.
I don't care what promo they do. I have not changed. Hangman is not winning at All In. And I'm not, again, I feel like I always got to say this because that means I want Hangman to win. I so want Hangman to win, but it's just not happening. It's just not happening. So, well, yeah, I think because they've been doing this with what's the worst way to get Moxley to retain? Well, obviously we'll have Christian burn his contract so that Cope doesn't have to take a loss. What's the worst way to have Moxley beat Swerve? Well, obviously we'll just spawn the Young Bucks out of nowhere and have them do it So what's the worst way Hangman Adam Page could lose? Well, obviously you have Danielson make his grand heroic return. He's gonna Busaiku knee Moxley. This is it. Oh, and he does it to Hangman.
Yep. Absolutely. I like that. I'm
I
not gonna
don't.
lie.
Now I don't.
I
Now I don't
like
have to
it.
watch the show. Great, thank you.
Well, okay. Well, Tony Storm and Monet, Okada, Omega.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still very excited for All In. I think another thing. Oh, they are doing another Casino Gauntlet match.
Yay!
Let's fucking go.
Oh.
I don't know if that's
Casino battle
spoilers.
match.
I'm looking at the I'm just looking at the All In Texas page on AEW. Obviously, it's the 3 matches we know about and Casino Gauntlet match.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah!
Who's debuting? Who is debuting?
I don't know if they'll do another debut, honestly. I mean, we're kind
I
of
think
like
it'd be silly not to.
I think
Roster's
AEW is
kind of
pretty good
excellent
though.
right now.
I don't think AEW needs any more people. I think
Maybe it'll be a
again.
cool return. Maybe Wardlow. Like
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
he's been
maybe.
cleared for a while, and I guess he's been working on that American Gladiators show, so they've been pushing him
Yeah.
off. But
Do you guys hear about that? WWE is mad that they're AEW wrestlers, but Tony Khan could care less that it's The Miz.
I've heard some conflicting reports. I've heard some stories where it's like no one cares, and then I've heard some
Yeah.
stories where it's only WWE cares about them being
Yep.
AEW wrestlers, which it's like I don't know. WWE's been really fucking bitchy with AEW lately, which I guess is like, oh, they actually are kind of getting scared of AEW, huh? If they're doing all this counter
Yeah.
programming and
They're
they're
not a
getting ditzy.
competitor. They're not a competitor.
Yeah. I don't know. I think All In will be a good show, at least with Storm and Monet and Okada Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna make me sad to see Hangman lose, but I do expect it. So it just is what it is.
Man,
I'll give them the
I
benefit
don't
of
know
the
how.
doubt. Even if they lose, I think I'll still think it'll be an enjoyable show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It
don't
just
think we
seems
talked.
weird to me to end on that note, on that vibe at the biggest show of the year.
I mean,
Oh,
a villain's gonna have to win at some point, right? He'll like the Owen Hart winner can't always win the big match, right? This is gonna have to happen eventually. I thought it was gonna happen last year with Danielson and Swerve. Um, I think it's gonna happen.
yeah. What were you about to say, Chandler?
I can't remember.
Sounded like you had a big thought.
All In will be great. Oh, I was gonna say it's not even that big. I love the new design for the belt. The unified belt.
Oh God, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
I think it
So
Oh
looks
my
old
God.
school.
I think it looks gorgeous. I like how the
Oh,
middle is like the continental crown, and then you go out and it's like the international flags, and then you go out one more and it's the one-winged angel and the rainmaker. Like, come on, right?
Yeah.
I think if it was literally any other wrestlers other than Okada and Omega, I'd have an issue with it. But I'm like, okay, yeah, it's Okada Omega. Like, yeah, that's so fucking cool. So
oh.
I love this. I watched the Okada kill Omega live, and love his silly little elbow drop. I don't know if the Don Callis family's needed. You know, I don't think Okada needs to
Mhm.
join it, but it's not. Like, obviously, we'll wait for the match, right? And maybe this is all just setting up to be the biggest possible babyface win for Omega ever, which is not a bad thing. And it's just right now, my internal gut feeling is I don't think the Don Callis family was needed.
Mhm.
They're slightly over egging the pudding, but there's time, you know?
I mean, there's no doubt they're the most dangerous faction in AEW now.
Yeah.
There's no
Most definitely.
arguing that. There's
Oh, man.
the members.
I guess I'll have to put my Takeshita Okada match dreams to sleep for a little bit.
Right.
That's not happening.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
but yeah, I don't know. At least with those 4 matches, 3 of them I'm incredibly excited for. Because I think my favorite match last year was the Casino Gauntlet match. So we'll see.
Yeah. There was a crazy multi-man match at Grand Slam Mexico, and one of the takeaways was I have to have a Bandito versus Takeshita match.
Yeah,
Oh,
After seeing them.
that chemistry was
Oh
unreal.
my God.
oh! I need to go back and watch it just for that. I'm sure I'll love it.
Oh, dude. Every match was fucking
Yeah.
good, dude. Every
Yeah, it
fucking
was
one.
the whole show was basically one big popcorn match, and it wasn't a bad
Yeah.
thing. Like I said, other than
Yep.
the Hangman promo, it was pretty like not a lot of stuff moved forward, but it was just like, oh, there's a bunch of crazy ass shit happening for 2.5 hours.
I think,
With the hottest crowd I've seen in a minute.
yeah, I think something like a Grand Slam Mexico, I'm fine if that doesn't progress any stories. And they do in like subtle ways, right? Like
Yeah.
Monet picks up another belt. So it's like, oh, if
Mhm.
she's picking up all these belts, what's Tony Storm going to do, right? I'm sure they're going to do, you think they'll do MJF Mystico at All In? Run it back and have Mystico get the win?
That'd be fun. They might do Forbidden Door.
Oh, that would make more sense. But yeah,
But
I think
dude, Tony Storm fucking reliefs German suplexed
I-
Monet with all her belts on her.
then they went flying. I saw that. That was such a good little bit. Um,
Oh, it was so good. It was
yeah,
such a good episode.
I think All In will be a great show. Honestly, I will honestly say that. I think it might be the best show of the year, with the Omega Okada, Monet Storm. I think Moxley Page will be very dramatic and like intense. So I think aside from the Swerve and Cope match, Moxley's been pretty on form this year. Like take yourself back to
Yeah.
the Briscoe Moxley match. That was a great match.
Yeah.
So if they can kind of like do something like that, at least the match will be enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, or even just like Hangman and Mox had a great series probably before you started watching.
Yeah, I never
and
watched it, but
and
I've
it
heard
was
of it.
all about and it was like by the end it was all because like Hangman got a concussion and it was just we're just gonna uncomfortably lariat the shit out of each other for like 20 minutes and it was like it was awesome match but it was kind of uncomfortable, like when Danielson comes back from an injury he just leans into that. It
Oh
was those
yeah,
same kind of vibes where you're like, oh, don't do that, no, don't stop. Oh
where I just remember where Andrade like injured his eye socket, so they were like, "Okay, we're doing Andrade Danielson in the C2," and then he just went right for the eye and like took his bandage off, and it's like, God damn.
yeah, same kind of vibes. So
Yeah.
they've got some good history they can mine at least.
Yeah. I'm loving AEW right now. Like I didn't shy away from my criticism there in, late 2024 with the Death Riders and their like petty, what do you call it, Chad? Their
Oh,
petty
just
shenanigans,
petty crimes.
petty crimes, fucking little clean cleaner down, pouring cleaner on people
Yeah,
and
random
fucking shit like
kidnappings and
yeah, dude. But now, dude, I think they've turned that shit around. Like, honestly, it is dude, that the feeling I got, Chandler, when they were live in Portland when they came in, like that was like they weren't goofy. It was just like, oh fuck, when like Swerve wanted to go 5 more minutes and here come the Death Riders, like, oh, the heat, like that was legitimate, I felt.
I'm glad you feel that way. I still think they're a bunch of fucking goobers. I still think the Death Riders is lame. People have been really wanting to do a revisionist and be like, so the Death Rider story was good the whole time, guys, right? Like, and it's like,
It
no, no, no,
wasn't.
no, 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 no.
yeah.
It was complete dog shit from Full Gear to Dynasty, and I will not let up on that. I will
No.
die on that hill. It was
The
complete.
the best part about early Death Riders was Johnny Hungy have it with a pair of nunchucks.
Yep.
I don't even remember that. That was so long ago. But yeah, just the horrible shit with FTR, and there's like, oh, we're gonna go beat up Midnight Heat. No, not Midnight Heat. Midnight Express.
Hilarious.
The
Oh
Rock
yeah.
and Roll Express. Rock and Roll Express. And it's like they're just old guys. Like, I feel bad for them because
Yeah.
I wouldn't like them to be beat up, but I'm like, oh, they're just old guys. And like it was all just silly. Remember where like FTR were cutting a promo and then they look, hey, what's over there? And Orange Cassidy is like held up 10 feet away and they're pouring more chemicals. And it's like, I'm supposed to believe this. I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
is real. Like, oh my God. And again, it still makes me so mad Christian catching in so that they can protect Cope. Oh, to this day, I don't think I'll forgive AEW for that. I think Tony Khan's got a right answer for that. And then the fucking the Swerve Dynasty stuff, they wasted.
Yeah.
Everyone's forgotten, so I guess it's worked out fine. But Hangman saved Swerve that night. Hangman came out to attack Moxley that night, but we all forgot about it. I didn't. So we wasted the first Hangman fucking turn, and then the Young Bucks came out of nowhere because Anarchy in the Arena's coming up. That's it. I will, and
Yep.
then it was fine going into Anarchy in the Arena because it's like, ooh, we got all these badass baby faces going to, like, of course, yeah, you got Swerve, Joe, Shibata, Hobbs, Omega, like, oh yeah, you guys suck. Willow, like, come on, those are all cool. So yeah, it got better then, and then now, I mean, I haven't been watching every week, but I did not feel the same way at Summer Blockbuster. I was there, and I was like, these guys are fucking chumps. I felt it was a lot more intimidating when just Don Callis came out for the Kenny Omega Okada thing. For me, at least, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, what is Don Callis gonna do? And then Okada's turn. I just thought it was a lot better.
How good was that Osprey Swerve match, though?
I don't think it was my match of the night.
Ooh,
I
hot
loved
take.
it.
I thought it
Oh,
was
I loved it.
fantastic. Loved watching it. Great ending. I guess I didn't even hear Justin Roberts say we had a minute because I was totally shocked. But I liked Bandito and Beast Marcos more.
Ooh, that was a good one.
I
That was a
thought
good match.
I thought that match was fucking nutty. And if you told me Bandito Takeshita, and I thought of the
Yeah.
Bandito in that match, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
great. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. I made the freaking realization that I put Lucha Libre above Japanese strong style. Like I've officially and it goes way back to like my beginnings watching Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, Psychosis, that
Mm.
whole WCW group. But God, I love Lucha Libre. God damn it. Like love it. It's so fucking good. The tradition, the lore, the legendary, talent. Like it's so good. The mystery, the masks, the freaking high flying, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic or interesting discussion. I think I would lean more towards the Japanese art style, but it's not like my end all be all favorite. I think if I just had to pick between the two, I tend to prefer
Mhm.
that. But Lucha Libre is fantastic in its own set. I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
For me, like Lucha Libre has higher highs than lower lows. Like bad Lucha Libre wrestling is oof.
Oh yeah, there's definitely been plenty of that. But yeah, I think that's a fair point to say, and especially Grand Slam Mexico. Hopefully, we have something like that again. I think Arena Mexico was very open to say they want more. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm. That was the first American wrestling company to put a show on in Arena Mexico ever.
really,
Yep. Pretty big deal.
we love AEW. We support it. Am I right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They're the alternative we needed. They may have had some rocky moments for sure, especially
Yeah.
after
And they
Punk
will again.
left. And
Like I said, the stuff it comes and goes, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm digging it right now. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm loving Hangman being the main character again. in the main event scene. Dude, they have so many fucking top babyface main eventers right now. Like it's feels bigger.
Mm.
Yep, I'm enjoying it. But yeah. You guys got anything else you want to contribute?
No, I think we got it all.
Yeah, I think I
Cool.
am talked out.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, everyone out there, thank you for hanging in there at an hour and 19 minutes. Uh do us a favor, elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a damn comment. We want to know what
Please.
you're thinking. What do you want us to review? What do you think about All In? What do you think about The Fed? Anything you want to get off your chest? Express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But cool, yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for joining, and we'll be back at you uh sooner than later. Cool, yeah. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
See ya, Chad. See ya, Takeshita.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Peace.